Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video to discuss about what's coming in the 10.0 update. You may think that I'm a little bit early since the latest trailer that Wargaming dropped is coming soon one, the 14 if I'm remembering correctly. And basically they are showing us a whole new aspect of what's coming in the 9.0 update. So the update that should be coming within 1 or maybe 2 months. And of course, as always, the 0.0 update have been something truly original in World of Tanks Blitz. Not because they implement many other stuffs, but simply because they follow this simple pattern. The first thing is they add a new game mechanic, either aesthetic or truly something that will be used. For example, the latest one, it was the HDR graphics that you see right there still being implemented into the game. Last time it was, if I'm not mistaken, the shell marks, etc, etc. So what will we see in the 10.0 update? The second thing is obviously a new line, because as those 0.0 updates are the biggest one, they have to implement new lines. Here for the 9.0 one, for example, it's going to be the Japanese line. And finally, they are adding some cosmetics or some new premium tanks like they usually do with the regular updates when they don't have necessarily a lot of things to put into the game. And here it seems like for the 9.0 update, talking about new aesthetic, as you saw right there, they are going for the spaced armor thing. I can't tell you exactly what it is, but basically the reactive armor thing that we had on the Titan is going to be a thing on other tanks, which is going to be quite incredible, because if you have the possibility of equipping it and it changed the aesthetic of the tank, it's really a nice change, and it's one more step to the personalization of your vehicles. But as we already know what's coming in the 9.0 update, I would be curious to take a look at what should be coming in the 10.0 update, or at least what we could expect from this update, which is the whole point of this video. The first thing I would love for Wargaming to implement for the 10.0 updates when it comes to a new aesthetic, or at least maybe new game mechanics, it would be the marks of excellence. For those of you that don't know what it is, basically the better you are with a tank compared to other players, the more rewards, aesthetic rewards you're gonna have on your tank. And it's materialized by those little ribbons at the top of the gun. And they are different for every single nation. For example, for Japan, it seems to be kind of an axe on the Tiger, so the German tank. Those are two white circles. Same for the British tanks, etc, etc, and the list goes on. And if I wanted to be more specific, which I do, I would just get on Google, type marks of excellence World Tank, and everything is explained right there. The top 35% of players overall in the same vehicle receive the first mark of excellence. So if we take into consideration that IS3 right there, that you shouldn't be able to see too clearly, it would have only 1 star if you're in the top 35 players. The top 15% of players will receive the second level and 2 marks of excellence, so 2 stars, to finish off with the top 5% players that will get 3 marks of excellence. And in my opinion, beside adding a new line, it's probably one of the most important aspects of the tank, and I'm gonna simply tell you why. First of all, those marks of excellence, you can't lose them, which means that if at one point into your tanker's life with the Object 752, for example, you manage to get your 3 stars, and after you come back to being bad, let's say like that, well, you will still have those 3 marks of excellence, which means that it's a one-time achievement. Once you're done, you're done. And to be honest, when you are such a big player like me, not necessarily in terms of skill, but just in terms of things unlocked, when you have everything unlocked, the only challenge is to challenge yourself, and to do that, marks of excellence would be a great aspect. Even if Wargaming already said that it was kind of a struggle to implement, simply because most phones players were playing from were not able to support such a massive amount of data. But if it's the case, why not add the possibility of not seeing those marks? If you do, maybe that, well, we will be able to get those marks of excellence for the people that want it, and for the people that don't want it or that can't support it because it would make their game laggy as hell, just remove the possibility. What would be a 10.0 update without a new line? But here, as it's the mighty one, because it's the 10th time they are implementing a 0.0 update, I think that Wargaming is going to see things bigger. They're not going to go for an already existing tech tree line and just add another tank. For example, take Germany and let's say add the Panzerkampfwagen 7. No. I think that they're going to see bigger than that and probably propose to us a brand new nation, or at least tanks from a new nation that we never saw in the game before at tier 10. And here my thoughts are about Swedish tanks, simply because we already have Poland, we already have Japan, Italy, Germany, France, Czechs, maybe not yet. But yeah, I think that it's either going to be Czech or Sweden tanks. In my opinion, probably Sweden, because the Czech tanks are going to come already. We already have the TVP, but maybe they are going to go for the heavy one I forgot the name of. But basically, if they add a whole new nation, it's probably going to be the Swedish. And well, if they do that, even if we already have the Krendwagen, I think that they're going to go for the STRV-103B. But why am I so sure about it? Simply because this tank adds a new mechanic, something perfect for a 0.0 update. Here is how it works. You see that there is a little mark near the 1.3 factor right on the aim circle. And basically it allows you to increase or decrease your gun depression on demand, but it costs mobility. For example, if you go into a regular mode, you will be able to go fast, but you don't have the best gun depression. Maybe you have -4 or something like that. But once you put your tank, once you're not moving, and you press a key on your keyboard or press something on your screen, it will decrease or increase kind of your gun depression, but it will cost mobility. And basically allowing us to get something like that mounted on a tank that has one of the highest DPM at tier 10 would be something quite incredible to play with. Simply because, well, those tanks, they are quite particular. When you take a look at it, you're probably thinking that it would be fun to add into World of Tank, and you would be totally right, because they are already working on it on World of Tank PC and they are doing a great job. On top of that, adding such a new mechanic would allow Wargaming to test their abilities and especially test the game engine a little bit more than usual. And maybe it will allow us and allow them specifically to design more tanks that are featuring new and special mechanism, like it's the case with the 103B. Of course, all of that is pure speculation. I can't tell you right now what Wargaming will do. I'm not even sure that Wargaming knows what they're going to do for the 10.0 update, but I think that it's good from time to time to make us dream about what we would like to get into the game. Now, of course, what would be Wargaming without its premium tanks? And here, I think they are going to strike pretty hard, because usually for the 0.0 update, they are either implementing drastically a tier 10 premium or collectible, or a tier 8, tier 7, tier 6, whatever that is completely broken. And here, to know what they will be implementing, or at least to have an idea of what we could see, it's simple. You just have to type premium tanks, a World of Tank PC, and just get to their wiki. Here, there is a whole list of all the tanks that were implemented in World of Tank PC, and you can pretty much base yourself on those ones. And basically, if this is the case, well, they could either go for the Object 279 version 4, that is a tech tree in World of Tank PC, but that maybe will not be one in World of Tank Blitz and maybe be a premium tank that they already talked about and showcased us. Or maybe that, well, they're going to go for something we didn't have lately. We could get, for example, the Object 279 early, and well, if it's the case, you can pray to the gods, because you're gonna get completely smashed every time there is one of those in the battlefield. I want to remind you that this tank, when you're in a 15 versus 15, is already a struggle, so just imagine in a 7 versus 7 matchmaking. But once again, maybe that they will do something in order for us to make it easier to penetrate and therefore not be as broken as it is in World of Tank PC. Now, of course, we could speculate about all of those tanks all day long simply because of how many they are. But I'm pretty sure that they are going to go for something kind of broken. In my opinion, the best option here would be the T95 FV4 T201 Chieftain, which is a brand of Chieftain Mark 6, but a better one. And obviously it would not change the playstyle too much. It would be just another Chieftain MK6, but just a little bit reskinned with a better turret. And if they did that, well, I don't think it would make the game completely broken. I mean, yes, you would have a strong turret, but if it's the only thing that changes, it should not destroy the game as much as an Object 279 could be. So yeah, here we're not gonna speculate. What we're gonna do is pray for them to know what they're doing, and basically tell me in the comments right now what you think they're gonna go for, because right now I literally have no idea. Once again, it's pure speculation. I'm just excited to see what they're gonna come up with, because it's the first time in the history of World of Tanks Blitz that we are hitting a 10.0 update, and obviously they will have to do something about it. But I'm kind of curious to see how it's gonna go. It's gonna take longer than expected because of the war in Ukraine, because you know they have to relocate everything, etc, etc, and it could be kind of a struggle for them. So well, hopefully we will see something beautiful, and maybe something that will put up the desire of playing the game once and for all. So hopefully you enjoyed. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like and share, and most importantly, tell me in the comments what you think the 10.0 update will bring. Any speculation is welcome. We just want to make us dream. See ya.